On October 4, 1992, in the small village of Hoshiarpur located in Punjab, India, a Sikh family was blessed with a baby girl. They named her Rupi Kaur. Rupi was raised in a low-income family that struggled to meet basic necessities. At the age of 3, Rupi and her family immigrated to Canada in an attempt to escape the persecution of Sikhs in India. Upon arrival to Canada, Rupi lived with her parents and 3 younger siblings in a one-bedroom basement flat where they all shared the same bed. Her family settled in Brampton, Ontario, living alongside a large South Asian community. Rupi's father worked as a truck driver to provide for his family. Before immigrating to Canada, Rupi's father was forced to leave his family in India to escape the hate crimes against Sikh men. For this time, he resided in Japan. When her father lived in Japan, he would often write Punjabi poetry to Rupi Kaur's mother, who would practice painting to that poetry. At the age of 5, Rupi Kaur's mother forced Rupi to take on the hobby of painting, which was close to their religion. Rupi often found her parents enforcing her to engage in cultural activities to keep on the spirituality and the essence of her religion. Rupi's relationship with her parents became distant with arguments and disagreements, which often made her disassociate with herself. In her younger years, Rupi witnessed relatives experience domestic violence and sexual abuse, which later became a central component of her poetic career. Rupi expressed an interest in reading at a young age, which helped her curb feelings of isolation and loneliness. After bearing years of bullying, ridicule, and self-consciousness, Rupi found poetry which brought her solace. She went on to study rhetoric and professional writing at the University of Waterloo. She also began teaching creative writing classes for high school and college students. In the early years of her career, she began spoken word performances with the stage name Kaur. She decided to bring this name on to eradicate the caste system in India, giving Indian girls a hope and inspiration. At the age of 21, Rupi self-published her first book titled Milk and Honey, a poetry series focusing on survival, abuse, and experiences of violence. She sold more than 10,000 copies, a huge accomplishment in Rupi's career. In 2015, Rupi Kaur gained immense popularity after sharing her university photography project, which challenged the societal taboos around menstruation and the objectification of women. This project created ongoing controversies, and Rupi's feminist stance gained her thousands of followers. In 2017, she released her second poetry book titled The Sun and Her Flowers. This poetry book focused on her mental health and struggles with writer's block and burnout. In 2020, she went on to release her most recent poetry collection titled Homebody, which focuses on acceptance, community, and family. Rupi Kaur's journey with her poetry and illustrations depicts her life's experiences being an immigrant woman struggling to overcome personal and societal struggles. During COVID-19, Rupi moved back in with her parents in Brampton, where she began teaching workshops on Instagram Live in an attempt to reconnect with her audience and establish new networking. Rupi Kaur's depiction of her experiences and thoughts on immigration in the modern world specifically reflect the hearts of many who have also stepped foot and lived in another country. Controversy fuels Kaur's work as she furthers the feminist movement and preaches the current immigrant experience. She draws light to the adversities she has faced, and as a first-generation immigrant, as an Asian, and as a woman. Made up of different cultural pieces, Rupi Kaur has managed to make people relate to a part of her. Through her poetry, she paints a picture of her narrative as a Canadian immigrant. They have no idea what it's like to lose home at the risk of never finding home again. To have your entire life split between two lands and become the bridge between two countries. Rupi Kaur.
They convinced me I only had a few good years left before I was replaced by a girl younger than me, as though men yield power with age, but when...
For I have just gotten started. I feel as though I just left the womb. My 20s are the warm-up for what I'm really about to do.
Apart from a man that doesn't give back what he takes, she will recognize me in your eyelids, staring at her with pity, and it'll hit her. How can she love a man who is busy loving someone he can never get his hands on again?